Hello Stage 3, welcome to your THRASS Lesson 8 Flipped Learning video. You'll be getting very good at this by now, so I'm sure we're going to fly through this lesson. Let's have a look at the 6 words that we're going to focus on in today's lesson. Here they are: aurora, cauldrons, macquarie, predator, resources, squall. What do you think these 6 words may have in common? Something that might thread them together. Have a think, see if you can identify it. All of these words have an interesting vowel sound. Some of them are digraphs. Some of them are just graphs on their own. Most of them make an or sound, or they contain a grapheme that we think says or, but it might be there to trick us. We're going to investigate this. Let's have a look at our THRASS chart. Let's have a look at the or box and the choices that we've got in the or box. We have OR, A, AU, AW, and OOR, like in the word door, for example. Let's go back here. AU, OR, AU. This is A, but we might just leave the word Macquarie for a minute. OR here. OU. And A, of course. OU. Let's go back. It's not listed on our THRASS chart at the moment in the OR box, but we can see in this word clearly resources. It does make an OR sound. So we have found a GCA. We have identified a word that is not currently on the THRASS chart but makes an OR sound and therefore should belong in this box. Go us. All right, I wanted to touch on some interesting words here. So we have, of course, aurora. It depends on your accent. We can most definitely hear the OR sound here in aurora. Most of us, though, here at the start, although we can certainly see an OR grapheme, some of us in Australia tend to just say aurora. Some of us will say aurora, and that's completely fine too. But once again, accents can play an interesting role. Or in cauldrons, of course. We're going to skip Macquarie for a minute. I think accents are going to come into play here again in this word. Predator. We tend to pronounce, in Australia, this sound not as an or. We don't tend to say predator. If we lived in England, we might. But we live in Australia and we tend to use the schwa sound, the OR from the schwa box, my favourite box. Resources definitely has an OR sound, and squall has an OR sound with that A grapheme as we saw on the chart here. Now I wanted to have a look at this interesting word, macquarie. Macquarie. The A here, if we are in Australia, which we all are, we most likely pronounce this grapheme here as an O, like in the word swan. Yeah, if we have a look back at the THRASS chart, the grapheme A appears in the O box, okay, like the word swan. And if you live in Australia, the word macquarie, macquarie. Now, if we lived in America, or we had a slightly different accent, and there are a couple of accents around the world perhaps, that might pronounce this word as Macquarie. Okay, if you're American, and I love to get my American accent out, you might say Macquarie. Okay, so it would in that instance make an or sound. But more often than not, for us living in Australia, we are treating it as an O sound, and therefore it would live in the O box. Don't get tricked with that one. I tried to trick you by putting it on the list with a whole bunch of other OR sounds, but I'm sure that most of you weren't tricked by that at all. All right, finishing off, as always, you are going to rule up your 5 columns in your literacy book for your word, your thrusting, your syllables, and counting your syllables as well, don't forget, your definition and your synonyms. I have done Aurora for you, and you can see Aurora has 2 digraphs. Okay, 2 graphs that go together to make the one phoneme sound. It has got 2 OR sounds, one of them slightly stronger in our accent than the other. You can see them both there. So have a go with your list words. There are 6 to do. And of course your extension task. Some of you should be getting your speed up now in completing this particular section with your table, and you should be ready for extending yourself with the IPA. So good luck with that, and looking at your OR and OH sounds in our words for this week.